Hello, my October daily friends. I am coming to you with two pretty quick and simple spreads, especially this first one. I am using the Traci Reed's Goldenrod kit. There we go. Can't get my words out. Goldenrod kit. Loving the colors of this kit. I really hope to dive into it a little bit more and work with it here soon. Plus, I have some pretty exciting news about that here coming up that I would that I'm going to be able to, I think, here in the next week, be able to let everybody know. But yeah, so this one just says it's like, ooh, I can't read it almost. My heart says autumn, but hold on. Let's read it from my thing. I can't read it on the screen. It's too small. It says, my heart says autumn, but the weather says dream on. And it was just perfect. This was a fall walk that me and my kids did. My kids and I did. There we go. And because I had to get a new camera as I am a professional photographer. And unfortunately, old Betty just isn't getting the job done anymore and making me miss a few key shots. So we had to switch and I needed some practice. So we went out to enjoy one of the last days of nice weather. Yeah, this day was like probably the last nice day. We were going to have a few more this weekend, but it was about 65 degrees this day. And go enjoy the fall colors. So, but this is a picture that I did capture of my son and just wanted to document it a little bit. He is turning 10 this month. So I wrote a little bit about that. You'll see the journaling that goes on the back of that tag. This is just a scrap piece of a page protector that I'm using. I keep them. I cut them all up all of the time because I use a 6x12, and so I cut like 12x12s down since I have tons of 12x12s left over from like, I don't know, 2003, 7, somewhere in there. Anyways, so I cut them down all the time and keep all the scraps. So here's my journaling that I typed out and put on the Mako transparency paper, I think is what it's called. Yeah, sure. I'll link it below. Everybody's using this paper. I love this paper. You can tell that, there's a sticker on there. A lot of people are like, oh, it melts into the paper. No, it doesn't melt as much as I would like it to melt into the paper. If you sit there and maybe sometimes like use a bone folder on it, it looks a lot better. One thing I do love about this sticker paper though is you're going to see here, I totally put it down really, really crooked. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. And on that matte photo paper, a lot of times you can't pull things back up. This one you can pull back up. Now, did I lay it back down and any straighter? Absolutely not. It's horrible, but it's on the back of the tag and it's no big deal. You see me there. Also, I used to run an Etsy sticker shop and never really found a transparency or clear sticker paper that didn't smudge. You had to like wait forever for it to dry. And this one, honestly, I haven't had that many smudges. Now, if you take it right off the printer, sometimes yes. But if it's had a minute or two to dry, it really is pretty much, it doesn't smudge. So using a little bit of my Halloween trim that I bought last year on that, it had a really big hole for the tag hole. And so like, I just didn't think that like twine would look good in it. So I decided to go with something a little bit bigger. I didn't want to put a hole in it or a hole. I didn't want to put a knot in it though, because that's a lot of bulk. So I just kind of twisted them together. So yeah, so just using that, use a little bit of red line tape using there. I use red line tape on the back of it, some thick red line tape, just to make sure that that's going to stick. And it is literally as easy as that. There needs to be no title. I just talk about the fall walk in my journaling. So I think that the picture really, I loved this picture. There's actually a whole nother half of it, but just fit in this. It worked pretty well. So you will see at the end that I am going to cover that date up because you can't stamp on that sticker paper, and I was worried about that. And you'll see at the end that it smudged all out. So I put a put a label down and redo that. So, all right, on to the next one, because like I said, that was a super, super easy one. This one, again, another fall album. Like, I'm doing a lot of fall things. We're just not doing a ton of Halloween things this year. I don't know. I do have a haunted house, like gingerbread house coming up, so maybe I'll stick to the Halloween stuff at that point. But a lot of my kits are fall anyways this year, not Halloween-ish. So this is just a tree that lives across the street from us and that I walk underneath every day going to get my son off at the bus, and it is gorgeous. Now, I don't know, my printer didn't print it all that well, and I thought about reprinting it several times. Let me know what your kind of favorite paper is. I usually print on matte photo paper, the same I print everything on, because I like that matte finish. I think I'm going to go on Amazon and get maybe a luster print. Yeah, I might go get a luster print and try that out, because I definitely don't want like super glossy. I do use glossy when I deal with my like travel albums to like the tropics, and I want that blue. But I just don't love glossy all of the time. So I'm going to try luster, I think. All right, so we are going to use these large Jane stamps for the first time. I got them a while back ago. I use my medium Jane stamps all of the time, but I finally, these ones went on sale. I believe, honestly, they still are on sale, so definitely check them out. I'll link it again below for a real good price. And I got the dies for this too. It is a little bit of an investment for the dies, but like this alpha is super versatile. And then Elle Studio actually puts out lots of large Jane stamps with like hearts and stars and all that kind of stuff, and that you use the same die for those too. So definitely look into those if you love a good, simple, bold alpha, I think. Anyways, so using that, this spread is going to be a lot of Elle Studios. The grid paper is actually from Elle Edwards, and I have no idea. I found it one day in one of her kits a long time ago. I have no idea where I got it from, so don't ask. And then actually this is a paper person card. So in Photoshop, I was a winter card from one of their newer kits, I think Homebody. And I took the W out from that edge and then just printed it right on this. So the colors that I'm using are Close to My Heart inks in Ruby, Sunset, and Sweet Leaf. Ooh, which I just seen Sweet Leaf was not closed all the way. Darn it. Anyways, Sweet Leaf. Because I only picked 3 colors, I changed how Tree kind of went down. I didn't want so much green. I wanted more of the reds and the oranges. But I just put Fave Tree. I really couldn't figure out a title for this one. I was struggling a little bit. But yeah, so I did that. I got this new stamp set from Elle Studio also. I can't remember what the title of it is. Oh, Autumn Days stamp is what it's called. And I bought it for these leaves. I use leaves all the time in my planners, and have been wanting a leaf stamp, more leaf stamps, I should say. And so, yeah, I invested in this one. I like this one. What I like most about Elle Studio stamps a lot of the times is, like, you see those little bitty stamps? I'm going to use them here in a minute with gray. They have like little like stars or twinkles and stuff, and it just adds a lot. This no, I'm not going to use it right here, but it just adds a lot to your spread. But I'm going to use this Autumn Favorite on my picture. Again, it's in my album now, so no, I'm not going to change it. I think I told myself, I'm like, forget it. It is what it is. It didn't print as vibrant as I wanted it to, but it is what it is. I'm going to fussy cut these out. Probably the only bad things about these stamps. I could have stamped directly on my spread, but I didn't want to. I needed something, a little bit of dimension, so I fussy cut these out. It didn't take me too long. I don't believe I'm going to make you sit through all of this. Yeah, I think I cut it right about here. Um, and so, yeah, so I'm going to put those down, literally add my journaling. I am going to go back and print a small picture. We got some good pictures of leaves the other day when we were out walking underneath this tree. And I'm going to print a small picture of it to go in that little spot. I just wasn't going to waste a whole 8x10 piece of paper to print that like 1.5 by 2 inch picture. So, yeah, I just said forget it. But I love this tree, guys. I take a picture of this tree, of my boys underneath this tree every Halloween, and it is so gorgeous. I'm really upset that I don't think it's gonna make it to October again. There was one year, I believe 2020, honestly, that the leaves did not make it. It was like completely dead. And we've had lots of cold mornings all of a sudden. I thought at one point it was going to, actually when I took this picture, I thought, I'm like, oh, we'll make it. There's tons of green left on here. Yesterday I looked out and there is no green left on this tree. And we have 11 days. So, unfortunately, I don't think that this tree is going to make it. So I might run my boys out there and just get a picture of them for Pete's sake. I don't know. I don't know if you guys do that. I literally take pictures of my kids in front of certain things like every single year, and I just love them. So the other box down there said location and date. So I put our neighborhood, and oh, this is where I'm like, I feel like it just needs a little bit more. So here I am. Now I flipped that stamp set over and you can see it like it has like twinkles and little stars on it. So I'm going to use Mink, which is a like grayish tannish color, really neutral, and just put a few little things around here. And I am going to go around the edge and do the famous, stitch. I think it just ties it in, grounds it a little bit. And honestly, I am calling this good. So 2 quick spreads. Again, I am not doing an October daily per se. I am just doing October stories. And yeah, loving the process still. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 stories in here so far. I do have about 4 more to go, including our first snow/sleet/freezing rain, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I almost forgot. I did add a little bit of a drop shadow. I have no idea why this paper made my usual gray, like a very light gray, a pretty dark gray. I have no idea. I don't know if it's the photo paper. I'm not sure, but that gray is usually not that gray. Thankfully, it kind of dried lighter, so it is what it is. All right, now here to put them in this lovely book of mine album. Oh, still haven't put anything in front of that homecoming. I really need to find an embellishment for that. I just forgot to print it out. I actually have it reset. I forgot to print it out when I was printing out all of this stuff. Ooh, and I need to get rid of that white because that white looks disgusting over there. Lots of oranges. Lots of score tape. This is what I use. I just use double-sided tape, score tape, whatever you want to call it, to put all of my pages in albums like this, or sticking 2 pages back to back. Yeah, I'm not loving how this book is kind of coming together. Pages are not fitting right. Now that it's getting thicker, it's definitely even like going down to only like 4 inches wide instead of 4 1/4. Like, I don't know. It's just really like, it will be fine in the end. Sorry for all the banging. I don't know what my kid is doing, but it will be fine in the end, and it will be a done project. I just know that this is my last TN that I will be doing. That's an actual like binded TN. So I could have unbinded it, but I did that for my stories of summer and never got it binded again. And I need to put that into one of those albums that you can, that has like the poles in it, or those things in it. I don't even know what that's called. I need to get one of those, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll just go back to Life Crafted albums and do it that way because I love my Life Crafted albums. And then I can do the size that I want. So, all right, guys, that is probably about it for this one. I don't believe that there's anything else. I am just showing you how I'm putting that in there and wrestling with all of that. I am rounding the corners. You aren't going to see the last story rounded because I want to round the corners when the other page is actually stuck into there. But yeah, I am, even if I literally stop today and maybe just get Halloween into this, I would be happy. It's, you know, it would be 6-7 more stories that I haven't gotten told. And you know, yeah, my month of October has been absolutely nuts. So, I have about 10 sessions this weekend in a wedding again this weekend. So, it's just been a busy October. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Definitely hit that subscribe button, guys. Which that's so crazy. Like, I'm getting so close to 1,000. And honestly, I never thought that this channel would grow like that. It's just been a hobby for me. And yeah, it's so crazy. So be on the lookout as a 2021 December daily flip through is coming. We are getting there, and I am starting to put together my stories for my December daily, slowly but surely, but I am, and getting my December planner ready, my Christmas planner, I guess you want to call it. So if you're interested in that, definitely hop over to my other channel, which is Plan with K. If you are planner interested. I will see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.